Okay, this is the program Crazy Talk 6. It is a great program that I purchased through Real Illusion, a company that has a couple different programs out there for animation, both 2D and 3D and some other stuff like that. So I'm going to go through a real quick tutorial, real quick couple of things that I use this for and kind of tell you how I use this with my students. When you log into it, you have some templates, some sample animations, and you can certainly look at those to kind of get ideas. The place you want to start is you want to click your model across the top. And this is, I believe, a free downloadable version you can get. I have a purchased version, but they do have educational discounts, which is kind of nice if you're looking to use it in your classroom. There are some pre-selected template models you can use to make talks, some animations, some cartoon characters, some hand-drawn, and some more human-like creatures. The way I use it with my students, typically in my social studies class, is I have them go and get pictures of, as I refer to them as, famous dead people. When you're studying ancient history, they're pretty much all dead. So what I have them do is they pick their picture through some sort of a common, Creative Commons site. You can click this picture, this little icon up here to go ahead and open an image. And I have one that we're going to use for today, which is the great Greek poet Homer. If it will let me open it, there we go. Homer. So I'm going to open him up, and I'll pull him in here, and it's going to go through some kind of diagnostic processing type of things here. That'll kind of talk you through what you need to do. It's pretty self-explanatory. Image processing, if you wanted to crop the image, if you were taking this head out of a larger picture, which I'm not, so it's good. So I can click next. And then what it does is it'll give you really the kind of key piece here is your face, your mouth, and your eyes. So you get to move these little dots here to the sides of your eyes and the side of the mouth. Okay. And if you have a picture with multiple people in it that you want to speak, you can add more, but that's kind of more advanced when you get moving in it. But real simple, just make sure you have the square around the head and your points in that general area. And you're going to click this process button. And sometimes when you do this, your guy will start moving on you, which kind of gets you a little creeped out, but it's all good. And you can select what kind of face it is. This is a pretty standard face, so I'll just select this. Click OK, and it's processing the background image. So here I have Homer all ready to start talking. Now I can do some advanced work. I can actually, up here you see these additional eyeballs up at the upper left-hand corner. If I want to make sure I really hone in, I can move all these little dots to make sure I really have them around the spots I want them, around the eyeball, and things like that. It's nothing too terribly tricky, but just kind of move it around. And you want these yellow ones on the outside of the head and the hair, so move those around. Or else it looks like his chin will actually start moving on us, which we don't want necessarily. So just kind of move this around the general shape of the head. These can just kind of go on the outside. Move my eyebrows up a little bit. Okay, so kind of get it where you want. That one's a little too high there. Let's see here. Okay. Now if you really want to get crazy, you can hit this additional one here, and you'll get multiple points, and you can really hone in on it. And that's if you really want it to be, really good. And you can even zoom in on it to make sure, make sure I'm on the eye here. We don't want to be messing with that. Okay, get this thing on the actual nose. Alright, but pretty much, connect the dots here, put it together. So then once you do that, there are some things you want to do. If you want to leave it just regular like the image is, or if you want to give him eyes, you click the little eyeball tool over here, which I tell you what, the kids love to do. Give these old statues and paintings really cool cartoon eyes. Some of them are just downright creepy. Comic eyes, human eyes. Those are probably, to be honest with you, the creepiest ones when you give them real eyes. So let's go with that for right now. You can even do a mouth, and there's several different options of teeth that you can give your character. Everything from a pretty standard set of teeth to braces. You can even give them a gold tooth. Somebody who probably should have seen the dentist more as a child. You Twilight users, you got some vampire fangs. So we'll just keep some nice standard teeth here for Homer. Alright, so once you get the guy looking the way you want him to look, you go to this script feature. And you can spend as much time doing that as you want. I just kind of flying through it for the sake of the tutorial here. When you go here, this is where you're going to actually add the voice of your character. There are some predetermined kind of sample voices. You have child talking, asking somebody out on a date, Austin Powers. You can enter text and have them say text, real robotic sounding, so I don't suggest that. The one I use with my students is right here, this big red button, record. And I just can click record. It's picking up my voice, which is what I'm saying right now. You won't hear it on the tutorial playback, but you'll see it. When I'm done saying what I want to say, I click stop, click OK, and it will add it to the timeline down here. And in the program, the beauty of it is it automatically configures what I'm saying and puts it to his mouse. If I hit play right here, it will already start moving to the words that I was saying, which is pretty cool. So you can mess with the project length to make it longer, shorter, and have it say whatever you need to say, but it automatically does it for you. You can get more advanced features, but you really don't need to. In terms of if you click this timeline button, you can actually puppeteer the character with different muscles groups on the face. I highly suggest you don't do that to start, but definitely as you get down the road and get more advanced with it, you certainly can. So there I recorded it. He's now talking. I go up here to the right, click output. And when you do that, you have some options. You can upload it to YouTube. You can set it as a widget. You can do all sorts of things. I typically drop it down here and save it as a Windows Media file. You can do AVI, anything like that. This does have 3D, so you can actually save it as a 3D. The red and blue glasses will work with it. Check your quality. Click the save button, and it will save your video, and you have brought the dead alive.